main idea, and we're going to talk about how to write summaries, and this is important vocabulary to help you work through your assignments
Okay.
and that you will need to know for this.
Love this.
Okay. So the objective is students will examine a grade appropriate informational text so they can provide a summary to determine the main idea of the text and explain how it is supported by key details. And then the sheet that I just passed out to you guys has main idea, topic, key details, summary, and support in writing. So a main idea, and with the fourth graders earlier, because I just taught this lesson, I was like, fingers up. So y'all can do that, fourth graders, fingers up.
For what?
Put it on a main idea in a text is the author's message about the topic. What to ask yourself, what does the author want me to know about the topic? Just follow along. Okay. The topic in a text describes what it is about. Key details. Key details in informational text are important pieces of important information that support the author's message or main idea. Summary. A summary is a short version of what you read in your own words that describes important points of the story. Support in writing. Specific details from the text that make the main idea true, important, and or relevant. Support in writing is another word for evidence, stating statements to back up what the author is saying. And then this is for practice. The title of this is The Storm. The rain began early in the morning. It fell as hard as drops, one after another. The sky was full of dark purple clouds. Thunder began as a soft rumble and became louder and louder. Lightning crashed every few minutes, making the sky brilliant white. So the question is, what is the main idea? There's A, the farms needed the rain. B, the thunder hurt the people's ears. C, lightning made the sky bright. And D, the storm was strong. So right off the bat, I think it could be C or D, because I remember the text saying something about lightning and the title is the storm. So I know it is not A because the text does not say anything about farms needing rain. I know it is not B because when I refer to the text, it does not say anything about thunder hurting anyone's ears. So to determine the best choice, I reread it. The rain began early in the morning, and I looked at the key details, which are it fell as hard as drops, one after another. The sky was full of dark purple clouds. Thunder began as a soft rumble and became louder and louder. Lightning crashed every few minutes, making the sky brilliant white. After rereading the text, I noticed in the text some key details that help me determine the main idea. I highlighted them to help me. The text does say lightning crashed every few minutes, making the sky brilliant white. But I asked myself, is this really what the author wants me to know? What is the big picture? So based off of these key details that are highlighted, I determined that D, the storm was strong, was the correct answer. And then I highlighted them again because the drops fell hard, the sky was full of dark purple clouds, the thunder began a soft rumble and became louder and louder, and lightning crashed every few minutes. So that is what helped me determine that the storm was strong. And then this is a recap on summary. A summary is a short version of what you read in your own words that describes important details from the story. And then I made a summary based off of that includes the main idea and the key details. So notice that this summary is in my own words, and it includes the main idea and key details from the text. I made a shortened version of what we read. Summaries can be longer than one paragraph depending on how long the text is. But my summary was the text describes a strong storm, which is the main idea. The key details that I picked from it was a storm with raindrops that fell hard and made the clouds turn a dark purple. The storm had loud thunder and lightning crashed often, making the sky bright. And then I had a passage for us to work on, but to cut out time, I'm going to jump straight into this one. So this is like a checklist to help you find the main idea, the passage that I'm about to read. So before you read, and I had a printout for the passage. So the title is Hammerhead Sharks.
You want us to write that?
No, it's just for you guys to help you. So you can't see it, but the title is Hammerhead Sharks. And then just to ask yourself, what is the text about? What is the topic? So I'm going to go ahead and read this for you guys. And then while I'm reading, just pay attention to those three that are under during the reading checklist.
Could we, is this, all that I was supposed to get. Thank you.
Okay, hammerhead sharks. Hammerhead sharks are fascinating creatures. These sharks mostly live in warm waters near the coastlines and far offshore, all around the world. Most hammerhead sharks migrate to cooler water in the summer months, although they travel in large groups with as many as 100 sharks during the day. These sharks like to hunt alone at night. There are 9 different species of hammerhead sharks, but only 3 are dangerous to humans: the great hammerhead, the smooth hammerhead, and the scallop sharks. Hammerhead sharks come in a variety of sizes and weights, with the great hammerhead being the largest of them all. It can grow up to 20 feet in length and weigh up to 1,000 pounds. Most hammerhead species, though, are fairly small and are considered harmless to humans. Hammerhead sharks are gray-brown to olive green on top. Underneath, they are often off-white, which allows them to blend in well in the water. Some of its most recognized features is the shape of its head. It looks somewhat like a hammer, with its eyes set far apart at each end of its head. On the tops of their bodies, hammerhead sharks have a large dorsal fin with, at one point at the top of it, their triangular teeth are pointy to and grow in rows, just like other types of sharks. These teeth are jagged and are extremely sharp. Hammerhead sharks are expert predators and eat a variety of foods, including small fish, small sharks, shrimp, octopus, and squid. Their favorite food is stingray, which often hides under the sandy ocean floor when food is scarce or scarce. Some scientists believe that the hammerheads will eat each other in order to survive. Hammerheads have an excellent sense of smell, which help them locate food easily. The shape of their head and the placement in their eyes also help them locate prey by allowing them to see in various directions better than other species of sharks. In addition, they have a number of sensory organs in their head to feel vibrations and movements of their prey even when they don't see them. So now this is a group activity. It's kind of a mapping concept where you're going to start out with the topic of this that I just read, and then finding the main idea and key details from the text that helped you find the main idea. And I have copies of these, but you can just look over that to help you, and then I'll give it to the next table.
Hammerhead sharks.
Now, the main idea isn't always stated in the passages. Sometimes they are. Sometimes you have to find the key details before you can find the main idea. A lot of the time, key details will point back to the main idea. You have to ask yourself, what does the author really want me to know about hammerhead sharks? Well, see, but those would be key details that point back to the main idea. The main idea is going to be general, but all those key details, because that's a really big passage, but all those key details in it are going to point back to the main idea. So the topic is hammerhead sharks, and then all those details that you were just describing are key details that point back to the main idea.
So,
You're just gonna,
so this is a non-fiction story, so there's a bunch of facts, and all these facts are basically all key ideas that point back to the fact that the author is just describing hammerhead sharks, which is the main idea.
the topic is hammerhead sharks, and it's full of key details, but reread this, like these first two, and it might help you identify the main idea of this a little bit better. Because the main idea is, I mean, it could be the living styles of hammerheads, but that's not what the author really wants you to know about this. And I have the passages, and it's easier with it right in front of you, but if you'll read over that, it will help you, and then I'll give it to them to see where they're at on it. about to bring it up.
Okay.
Where am I at on time? Do you know?
You're at 10
I'd
minutes.
say about 6 minutes, 7 minutes.
Okay. What are y'all thinking that it is?
I mean,
It is actually kind of hard to find a main idea, especially in the informational text.
To me, I think it is, not the light shots, because that's the key details, like. Is it how they migrate together, is that they live together?
yeah, like where they live.
So to me, he's just giving me information about sharks. Like that's what he wants me to know, that the sharks won't harm you, that.
What is the author's opinion about hammerhead sharks? What is the author trying to get you to agree with them about hammerhead sharks? What does the author specifically say about hammerhead sharks in there?
There's so much he's saying, cause all of it is true. These are all
Yeah, but
facts.
there were details about hammerhead sharks, not the overall
I'm gonna get in
message
trouble with this.
of them. It. Cause I had another example before we get this one too, that I think of, but.
Good. Golly.
Yeah. Hammerhead sharks are fascinating creatures, we go, that's pretty much your name. Show that, show that.
Okay, and
That's
that table's still working on it, but this is the exit
Alright,
ticket,
and then-
so you can still use the vocabulary that I passed out, but you're gonna do,
Huh?
in your own words, describe what a main idea is.
That's the first sentence. I'm gonna put
And
that.
then, the next one is, what was the key detail from hammerhead sharks that you found interesting? If you need the paragraph, actually, let me know.
Hammerhead sharks are fascinating.
And then, write a summary of what we read in your own words, 3 to 5 sentences. Remember, a summary is describing what the text is about and the main idea in your own words. Make sure you write complete sentences, guys. My parents didn't when I practiced this with them. Okay, do y'all have that? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what they were struggling with, so.
This is the main idea right here.
Yes, and they were picking out, like, where they live and stuff like
This
that.
is good, so you taught this lesson today.
Yeah, an hour, like,
Okay,
not even 2
so
hours.
tell us your feedback and what was the grade? that
It
you
was
did
4th
this?
grade, and
Fourth
that's what
grade.
this lesson or standard is for, and it took them long, like, this length of time, like, she got it right away, it took them a little bit longer, but I had a, passage that we worked on together before they did group work like this.
Yeah.
And I think that that really helped them, but it took them a little bit longer than I thought it was gonna
It
be to
was,
get
I was
it.
about to say, this is a difficult, this is
And-
hard.
And my mentor teacher said that during, cause when I first brought up the standard, she was like, oh, that's really good because they didn't get it the first time I saw it.
Exactly.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that's.
No,
really
no,
good.
this is good, and
But-
this, yeah.
And so, it took, I was kinda getting a little worried, I was like, oh gosh, but then, it like all clicked at the same time for them, and I was like, okay, that makes me feel a lot better.
Mhm.
And my mentor teacher said I did really good, so
Right.
I just went through the PowerPoint fast, but I also gave that dog story, I like
Mhm.
made it up off the top of my head while I was going over the vocabulary, and I think that helped them too.
Stories like that help,
Yeah.
anytime that you think of something and they can relate, they like dogs, I mean, even though they're 4th grade, you
Yeah.
know, they Paw Patrol, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then talking
Paw
about
Patrol.
not fitting in or having
Yeah.
trouble, and then their home life, they can understand that. So you put it on a level that they can understand, which is also good for examples. When you're going through these, the more that they can just practice, and one of the things with the stories and stuff like that, you notice that you need to be the first one of anything you do, especially with 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, and under. they will not pay attention, even with some high schoolers, they're on their phones or their tablets and not with you.
Yeah.
So doing that first one is always good, but I'm glad you got practice to see it and then you're giving feedback, cause this isn't easy.
No, I was a little scared once. I was like, okay, I don't think.
Yeah,
I
this
did it.
is
But
hard.
eventually they got it, and I was like, okay, I feel a lot better now. And I also did the dog story too, because I explained to them that this is an informational test, so it's nonfiction, so it's going to be harder to find the main idea.
Yes.
But with the fictional one, they got it pretty quickly, or fiction one,
Yeah.
but.
No, you guys did really good though. My parents could not figure this out. And then I looked over their like sheet and I was like, those are not complete sentences. And then they would like rewrite it. I was like, this is not, and they were like, fourth graders are learning this now? I was like, y'all
My
are.
thing is like, I'm skipping right to information. I was like, what do I need to know about Henry and Sharp?
And something else, you might even get them to pretend to be newscasters. Can you say it, if I've only got, that quick, you're in the internet, what are you gonna
Yeah.
say in one sentence about what you just saw? A microphone, you have one sentence,
Yeah.
big picture, and that's hard.
And then a lot of them had a really hard time explaining main idea in their own words, and the way that I worded it better for them to understand at fourth grade, I was like, if you were talking to your friend and they asked you what the main idea was, how would you describe it?
Yeah.
And they got a little bit better with that, but
Yeah,
that's
good.
it.
And it's reframing, that's what you're doing as a teacher, to find a different way to, and coming up with stuff, that's good.
Yeah.
That was a good.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna talk